First Q&A. How do I tell my boss that I want to work remotely? How do I prove to them that I work better from outside of an office since COVID? Ooh, this is a tricky one. I struggle with this. I'll be super honest with you. I'm dealing with a situation right now where we had somebody say they wanted to work outside of the office. We accommodated that request, and it has just been an outright disaster. So this one's hard. Here's what I would say. One is your boss wants you to be high performing. Your boss wants you to fit inside the company culture and the systems and to be a happy, productive, robust, well-positioned employee. You want those same things and you want to live your life and you want to have a great life. So how do you bring those two things together? I think the best way to ask your boss if you can work from home versus working in the office is to sit down, have a super calm, rational conversation. I would write down all of your points about why you want to do this. And then I think you really need to stress test yourself on why this is good for the company. I don't think you can make a bunch of bullshit excuses here because your boss, I think, is probably naturally not going to be inclined to say yes, because the way most cultures are formed, the way people historically think about productivity is people are most collaborative, people are most productive, people are most quote unquote successful by being in the office. Now that said, I think COVID changed everything and a lot of people love working from home. They're super successful working from home and they prefer working from home. There's no shame in that. I think for you, maybe you set up a recommendation where you trial it a couple days a week or for a short amount of time and to check back in to see if that works. Or if your boss isn't open to it, maybe you should go work for a company that has a virtual culture or that really champions work from homeness versus working in the office. All right, next up. I just started to listen to the podcast and I'm in college. So thank you and congratulations. College is some of the best years of your life. What should I expect from my first job interview? What are questions to prep for? I would say you're definitely new because we talk about this shit ad nauseum all the time, but we'll say it again for the people in the back, and we love new people to this podcast. So thank you for giving us a question. What do you expect from your first job interview? One is you should expect that you're going to have to go on a lot of job interviews to get a job. It's not like you go on your first job interview and it's like, what? We want to hire you. We love you. We think you're fabulous. You're the best. You're going to be the CEO in 5 minutes. No, you're going to go on a bunch of job interviews. You're going to be dissatisfied. They're going to be dissatisfied. You're going to think the job is great. They're going to think you're mediocre. So it's a whole roller coaster. I think the best thing about a job interview is it's a chance for you to go learn more about a company, and it's a great opportunity for the company to learn more about you. You should expect hard questions. You should expect to know about the company. If the company has a stock, know what the stock price is. If the company's in the news, be sure you know what those news headlines are. If the company has a role that you're specifically interviewing for, you better fucking know what that role is about and have specific questions about that role, about the company, about the boss or the hiring manager, and about where those people are going in the future and how you can fit in. I think the biggest thing about an interview is it feels really nerve-wracking. I would say you should wear deodorant. That actually would be my biggest thing. Wear deodorant. Brush your teeth beforehand, go to the bathroom. Sometimes you get really nervous and you have to poop before a big interview. Just take your time, get all of that done because you don't want to be uncomfortable or fidgety. And I know that's TMI and gross, but I think that's actually how people feel. And then I think the best thing is just have 3 questions in your pocket. Don't worry about impressing people. Just be yourself and be actually thinking about if you want this job or not. That was, I think, the mistake I made is I wanted everybody to think that I wanted to work there. And then I would get a job offer and I would be like, ugh, God, I have no desire to work there. And then that created a whole host of other problems for myself. But last question. All right, we've got the newbies and then we've got the get me the hell out of here crew. How do I know when I should quit? I work in a job that I've been in for almost 2 years with no raise and no promotion, even though I've asked. Am I not doing well enough or should I start looking elsewhere? This is a great question. I love this. First of all, if you are unhappy and you don't like where you work or you feel like you're not fulfilled and you feel like you're not moving forward, you should quit. See you later. Just quit your job. Now, if you need the money and you need the security and you need to pay off your college loans or you've got to pay rent, might be a good idea to find a new job before you quit this one. But there is no shame in quitting something if it doesn't work for you. What I do think you should do is to understand why you don't want to quit. In your case, 2 years at a company, one of those years was a pandemic. I don't think it's totally shocking that you haven't got promoted or had a raise. I think that there's a lot of expectation about, hey, everybody should get a raise every year. Everyone should get promoted every year. Sometimes it takes a couple years to get a promotion. Sometimes it takes a couple years to get a raise. That's especially true if there's a pandemic and a company's been struggling. They don't have the type of money or the type of revenue that they thought they should have. All of that said, I think you should really assess if you want to be at a company. If something in your gut is telling you that you don't want to be there, then start to lay the foundation for going to be somewhere else. Put a note in your calendar, put a calendar reminder like a month from now. But here's the deal. You put the calendar reminder, you got to have a go, no go on that date. So if you're like, hey, I still feel like shit, I don't like this company, I'm unfulfilled on that 1 month date, then it's time to act. If you're like, ooh, things are a little bit better, I feel okay here, then maybe you want to stick it out and go for a little bit longer. I think the biggest thing is if you do want to stay at the company, you should have a conversation with your boss. Am I on track to get promoted? Am I doing a good job? I think it's more important that if you're happy than whether somebody else thinks you're doing a good job. But if you're interested in raises and promotions, understanding where you sit with your manager is really, really important. And then ultimately, I think only you can tell yourself when you should quit something, and you should listen to that gut. And you shouldn't listen to what everybody else, especially me, says that you should do about that.